Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is going to be all about a person that's on your mind who you think might have a problem with you, if they do have a problem with you, and if so, what is that problem? So then maybe they don't have a problem with you and you're just checking to see if they do, or maybe you definitely know something's up by now and you want to know, what they're upset about. Maybe you do know that they're upset, but you just haven't heard from them. So what's going on with your person, what their problem is, if they have one. Remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or it's simply your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. No matter how you look at that, it is healthy and you are in the right place. Notice I didn't bring all the boxes out and show them to you. It's just a really big pain in my booty to get them out from where I keep them and show them and then put them back under on a rolling table. So if you would like to know the names, authors of any of the cards that I use, just put it in the comments. I will totally answer you, I promise. It's just easier that way for me, you guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't do it anymore. We're going to try it like this for a while. Okay, so that being said, we are going to live shuffle these to get your piles all created. The tarot deck we're going to be using is this one up here to clarify things. These are going to be all the energy check-ins that we do. And then I'm going to do, sorry about that. So we're just going to get into building your piles now. We'll put you over here and your person over here, things about you in between. I also got letter tiles, which I've never used before, but I always really get a lot out of them when I watch other readers do it. And even if they don't say what's on the letter tiles, I like to pick things out myself as I'm watching. And so those of you that are intuitive like that and you watch readings like these, I will be doing that for you. We'll also be doing some channeling of just anything that comes through for you. I might end up trying charms and having little baskets full of names of places and things like that. But right now I just kind of flip cards and whatever little Easter eggs stand out to me in the cards is what I say to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and build your piles. So there's a timestamp on this. So if you want to skip the shuffling and just get to the pile picking at the end of that, just skip to the end of me shuffling. And we'll see what we have here. So Spirit, can you please show me, while we're building these piles, what's going on between them and their person? And if that person has a problem with them, what is that problem and how can it be fixed? So let's put both an animal on the top for my person and an animal on the bottom for theirs, and then we'll draw more animal cards if we need. Okay, this is you, and this is your person, group 1. You and your person, group 3, okay. You and your person, group 2, that's funny. And you and your person, group 4. Yeah, stay on your toes with my guides. And yours, apparently, my friends. Okay. It's like an auction. They're like, no, do it that way. No, do it this way. It's so funny. Okay. But we got it. We got it. We're going to take some from pretty much all of these oracle decks that I had out here in front of you. Again, if you ever want to see what they are, without me showing the boxes or the authors to you or talking about them or remembering what the titles are called, because I won't. Just let me know in the comments and I will get that to you. Thank you. 2 more. Man, they all came out for you guys all at once. Just hopefully none of you saw which one was yours. You guys are getting sick of these oracle cards I've been using, particularly these last 2 that I'm shuffling here. They'll be going away soon. If you're going to miss them, enjoy them. We may draw from any one of these for clarification later if we wish. But I'm going to try to keep the energy checks light today. Okay. All right, we're going to just make these look as pretty as we can, I guess. Make a pretty picture for the thumbnail. Okay. Oh my goodness. And then a lot of times I like the thumbnail they create better. I'm like, oh, I'll use that instead. Okay. We'll do unicorns again. Group 1, you can be the blue unicorn. Group 2, you can be this little yellow unicorn. Group 3, you can be the pink unicorn. And group 4, you can be this, it's like almost, it looks yellow probably to you guys. It's like more of an off-white kind of color. Little unicorn. Okay. So pause if you need. We'll see you in your individual readings. Bye-bye. Group 1. So if you picked the little blue unicorn, we're going to get into your reading all about what's going on with your person. If they have a problem with you, what is that problem? If you know they have a problem with you, we're going to explore that. Okay, so we're just going to check on both of your energies first. And then these are going to be the things that are between you, like situation type hints so that you know you're in the right group. And then we're going to also draw a few more cards just to see where you're both at this time. And then the tarot will be for clarifying, giving you advice, as well as doing some channeling, where I'm channeling like some names, places, things about, details about you two, resolutions or things that might happen, etc. and so forth. And then we'll get into some more little confirmation channeling at the end. So, okay, we'll go ahead and get going on you. Number 54, we have the little skunk spirit. Know your worth. Okay. So this could be that you have learned your worth in some new and profound way, especially within this connection. And that could be why you wonder if this person has like gotten cold towards you, or if they've like completely cut contact with you, if they lashed out at you. All your situations are going to be different because it's a general reading, but it's like you've either something about you knowing your self-worth affected this connection. And that's why you think they might have a problem with you. Like maybe you stood up for yourself, that kind of thing. Or it's a message from your guides overall telling you that you need to know your self-worth better whilst going through this situation. Okay, so it's going to be a little different for each of you depending on your situations. The situations, whatever they are going to kind of trickle throughout the reading, so just stick around. If that sounds somewhat relatable, you might still be in the right place. Let's go ahead and get some more information on you, Spirit, just to let them know that they're in the right spot. Energy check-in for group 1, please. Got a couple here. We have number 3, armadillo spirit, set healthy boundaries. Yeah, that would go along with knowing your worth. The number 3 could be significant to you, and so could the number 54. And that just is any little confirmation that you need. I'm not always going to know what they are, if you're not right here to test the waters with me. And so I just kind of call them as I see it generally. So, all right. And it also could stand for that other group of people that you're setting boundaries. So you're tough, you're strong, you've been getting stronger is what I'm seeing with this. That might be something you've been focusing on with this person that you're wondering about, or just people in general. 63, we have the vulture spirit. Nothing is wasted. And yeah, I feel like you're not trying to waste your time with people anymore. And that's why you're seeking confirmation. So... and some of you are just genuinely here to find out if this person is mad at you at all, or if they have a problem with you at all, and you have your reasons for feeling that way. So your guides are saying as you take in those messages for that group, know your worth. You might need to set some healthy boundaries, some of you, depending on who this person is and how they're behaving. So that's a message coming in for some of you. And vulture spirit, nothing is wasted. That's just a little confirmation for some that even if you only get one little nugget of wisdom from this reading, like there's still like a lot of messages coming through for you. So also check the other piles if you felt drawn to those. And let's look and see some hints at your person here. Number 27, we have fox spirit. Think on your feet. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm definitely getting like vibes and a situation vibe of like a person that's being flighty, because fox are kind of flighty. They don't let you just walk right up to them generally, right? Unless you've like domesticated one and you're like, you keep it as a little dog pet, right? It has a little fox harness and you take it for walks. No. This is all about, oh, sorry, this is coming in first. Some of you might wear glasses. Some of you guys, people might wear glasses. I am seeing like a certain like romance development here where this person hasn't been in contact with you, or that they come in contact with you and then they disappear. You can't get close enough to them. That kind of energy is definitely coming through for them. What else? This person is witty, smart. They might have like a smart, witty tone, or like they say witty things, or like they might even have like a sharp tone. They also might kind of seem a little bit like you can't trust them in some cases for some of you. Keep in mind, not all of these are going to apply to everyone. What else? What else? They're smart. They're smart, but at the same time, they're kind of fragile in a way that makes you worry for them. Yup. Okay, so let's get some more hints about this person. This card on the bottom. Ooh, and that card right there. Come here. Okay, we have 14 chameleon spirit, act as if. Yeah, this person can tend to act like everything is fine, or notice how it's like walking away from the, from everything and looking back like, yeah, I know I'm walking away and I'm doing it because I want to. They definitely do what they want when they want to, regardless of how that affects you, is coming through for some people with their person. They might have a thick, this little guy's wearing a helmet. They might have like kind of a thick head or like a stubborn nature. It might be hard to get them to see other points of view. This person might blend in well with others. They might be a very popular person with their friends. The number 14 could be significant to them in some way, like a date of their birthday or something along those lines. Okay. This person could also be sort of transforming from hanging out with you all the time to suddenly like becoming this chameleon with these other people. Like maybe they started dating somebody else, if this isn't romantic. Maybe a friend started dating somebody else and now they're acting like a totally different person. For those of you where it is romantic, maybe they start hanging out with this new crowd and now they act like a different person. That's also coming through for some of you, but I'm getting a lot of different energy for a lot of different people. So like I said, if it doesn't resonate, just let it go. All right, and then let's also see, and don't worry, we're going to get to like what their problem is with you here pretty soon. 52, we have the scarab beetle spirit, magic works through you. This person does have a connection to, or could have connection to like Middle Eastern background, okay, or Eastern Asian background. They could have like an affinity for scarab beetles. They could have like a spirit guide that is a scarab beetle. They could have a connection to that world. I'm also seeing that this person does magic, or they are very spiritual in some way. And I'm also seeing that sense of like, I sometimes get this with the magician card where it's like they do what they want when they want it. And they have all the tools to get there. It always seems to, whether other people want them to or not, it always seems to be that's what they do. And it doesn't seem to harm them that much. It doesn't seem to like not work out for them, but it can kind of like be trying for you if you're like waiting for them to get in touch or waiting for them to give you an answer, waiting to figure out why they're acting different. That kind of energy is also a factor here. All right, so let's see what's between you. This could be certain situations as well. But it's also definitely like, what's their problem with you if there is one? Okay, so for some of you, there might not be a problem. I feel like overall, they're definitely being distant. And so some of you definitely know that there's a problem by now. Others are just like, are they being distant just because they're getting wrapped up in something or somebody else? Or are they being distant because of something that I've done? Okay, so this will be some of the issues that you're having, or, if there are issues, that kind of thing. So Spirit, let's go ahead and tune in and see if this person is upset. And if so, what's their problem? Okay. We have Sacred Circle 34, a dive into the depth of the unknown within beckons your becoming. And we have Prosperity and Sparkling Jewels. You've tapped into the universe's infinite flow of abundance. Accept your treasures with open wings and a grateful heart. Okay. So some of you, this person has a problem with poverty in some way, or they have a worry of poverty, or they have a worry of lack mentality. Oh, let's cover up your cute little skunk. But it's like the reason that they come and go so much in your life, and like, it's not, they might, if I were to ask any of your people or some of your people, like, do you have a problem with group one? Some of them would say yes. They'd be like, yeah, because they did this, that, and this. And they did that. And they might actually give us a lot of like reasons that they actually gave you in your last argument or that kind of thing. But like at the same time, I don't feel like they would be, I don't feel like their answers would like convince me that that's like what the real problem is. Like I feel like in this case, like the real problem is kind of them. For those of you that this person is kind of changing into somebody you don't recognize, either because of influence of others or whatever. Remember, we talked about all those different situations. If they're acting like a different person, that's also on them. They're consciously making that choice to act the way they're acting. And by this point, I feel like they have noticed that it does affect you, and they're still continuing to do it. Part of it is because they think that they need to look for some sort of prosperity. This doesn't necessarily have to be money, but I feel like in some cases it is. In other cases, it might be like more friends or whatever, right? Like people that make them feel better about themselves, or they go out in search of people. Maybe they don't even find them, that at least don't expect them to do things like you do sometimes. And by doing things, I mean like, you know, just wanting regular things that anybody would want in a regular relationship. Okay. Okay. So yeah, those are the kinds of situations I'm picking up. Like maybe they want wealth and friends or different types of things around them, possessions. Maybe it's an obsession with work, something along those lines. But because you're part of that sacred circle, that person that's always there, they kind of are okay with letting you take the responsibility of bearing the emotional brunt of the relationship between you. Including not knowing exactly what's going on, like not knowing if they're even mad at you or not, or how mad are they? Are they going to stay gone forever? That kind of energy is definitely coming through. Okay, so that coming in, let's go ahead. Oof, and get some, that's not for you because we're not doing that deck today. Oh, but I'm not introducing decks anymore, so maybe we should. Two of Coins, yeah. I just feel like it's like this person kind of makes you feel juggled with sometimes. You never know where you stand with them. You might have to walk on eggshells around them. And then, you know, you might be sort of like upset or feel abandoned in the sense that like you don't see them acting like that around other people, like their friends or whoever that they, you know, not that, again, this isn't for everybody, just take the ones that stick out to you. All right, so let's look and see, Spirit. Can I get some different situations? And I know that this person's thoughts might not be logical or, that was King of Wands, by the way, some hot-headedness and temper energy coming in. So can we see for those people who are upset, who do have a problem, and for the, I mean, like at this point, I feel like it's all of it's a lot of it, right? What are the problems that these people think they have? And so these might not be congruent to reality, boys and girls, but let's just go ahead and see. Eight of Pentacles. Some of them feel like they're the one that does all the work, and they may have expressed this to you, okay? If these don't resonate with you, then they're probably just not for you, okay? So if you're like, oh, is that what they think? And they haven't told me, no, we're only getting the things that you know so that you know you're in the right spot, okay? This person might also be like obsessed with their work and yet very stressed out by their work, but they always have to put their work first over you. And they tend to get stressed and upset with people at work. But then when like you go to work parties, they're like, oh, Susan, ha ha ha. And they're like, don't you embarrass me tonight. Not like that exact scenario, but you see that kind of discrepancy in that work type situation. Even though all those people around them are stressing them out, it kind of reminds me of, that movie American Beauty, where he goes to like the conference with his wife and she's like, hi Shirley, and like you can tell she doesn't care who any of those people are, but she cares what they think of her, and she definitely doesn't want him to rest it up for her. And since he's always the one that's there and he's her husband and he's the one that's like supposed to like support her, she just like jerks him around and doesn't really pay attention to what he might want in that situation, right? So it's just like kind of an example of what somebody does, okay? So in that particular case, it doesn't feel like they really have that big of a problem with you. They have a problem with the people around them, but they're taking it out on you because you're there, okay? What else do we have? Ace of Wands. Some of them are really looking for like their passion and they're not finding it. And the reason why they're not finding it is because they're looking for it outside of themselves. And so then they kind of take out their frustration of not finding it out on the people around them, the people who are closest to them. And one of those people could be you. That could drive them to look for outside influences apart from you and make you feel abandoned, etc. and so forth. And yes, I feel like there's very much a gaslighting effect with you, or, you know, they might perceive it for real or just use it as manipulation. For most of them, it feels like it's real. It's like, oh, everything's so hard for me. You don't do this enough for me, etc. and so forth. And that's going to get pretty draining on you until you start feeling like this. No matter what you do, you end up feeling like you've got all these problems on your back because they're not accepting you or getting better for you. Okay. So that's pretty much what I'm picking up for where they're at in general, right? And yeah, and how it's affecting you. And so let's go ahead and move into some channeling now. I'm going to go ahead and just start by flipping some cards. So Spirit, just anything about signs that these people might be. Oh, no, wait, hang on. Before we go into that, can we get them some advice on what to do with dealing with this person? And remember these messages too. Know your self-worth, set strong boundaries. Nothing is wasted, mean that all your efforts, even if they haven't thanked you for any of them, please don't think they were a waste. Okay. Now they might start feeling like that you wasted your time trying to help somebody that wasn't being very receptive to you. But like your time is never wasted. Like everything that you do has a reason, and everything that you did for this person mattered. Okay. So that's something that they wanted me to say. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Let's keep going. Some advice, Spirit. The High Priestess. Yeah, a lot of you intuitively already kind of know what you've been dealt with this person. You're just kind of waiting to see if they change. So can we see some change at all, Spirit, for some of these people? Yes. Everybody has the ability to change. So what can they do to get that change to come forward? It's up to that person. And that's exactly right. It is very much up to that person. Pulling your energy back from them is a good way to like kind of get yourself, you know, into a situation where you can stomach being able to let go and wait and see if they step up and give you this sun energy. Okay. But this is very positive. This makes me feel like a lot of you guys as people do have it in them to move forward, if not all of them, because it's a general reading. This is for everybody, right? So it's like, it's pretty good, right? Let's go ahead and see. Yeah, and Temperance, healing. There's such a chance for healing, but this person has to step into it themselves. And so you have to be able to pull your energy back to you, set your boundaries, and stay firm so that they can correct their bad behavior that I'm seeing kind of across the board here with a lot of them, of like pulling away from you or being upset with you for silly things that really have no bearing on your responsibilities towards them. Okay. And so, yeah, that's the advice portion there. So now let's just do some channeling, give you some more stuff, some things about your occupations. Some names might pop out. If names don't pop out, that's too far away. I'm not going to go get it. It's not for us. It's Probably for me for later. I'm going to get letter tiles at the very end just for triple dipple confirmation. Dipple. What a strange word that is. I don't think it's real. Okay. I'm hearing the name Shirley automatically. Some of you might be water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Some of you are very patient with this person, have been very patient with this person. And continue, like you feel like you still have it in you to keep being patient with this person. And like emotionally, you're not too wrecked up over this particular situation. It feels like you're kind of like, you've been through it before, you're going with the flow, but at the same time, it's kind of like something's got to kind of shift or change. It can't just keep going like this forever. And you do deserve more, your guides say, than what you've been getting. I'm hearing dimple. That might be where that dipple word came in. Dimple. Some of you might have dimples. Some of you might have some Asian descent or ancestry, or you might just have Asian decor around your home, or you might be involved in something that gets you involved in Asian culture, like, you know, Taekwondo or, you know, Qigong, or you might study Chinese medicine, or you might love tea. You might be a coach, I'm hearing, or your person might be a coach. The name Penelope's coming through. Some of you might really like roses or have roses outside. Some of you might have an outfit kind of like this, one piece of it or both. Some of you might have very dark, luscious, beautiful hair, or your person might have that outfit or have beautiful hair. The scenery behind her looks familiar. It might match some scenery that some of you are aware of. Thomas is coming through. I know these probably aren't buttercups, but they look like big giant buttercups to me. So some of you might have something to do with buttercups. Some of you might like the movie The Princess Bride. So you might have a pet named Buttercup or something like that. Amy, the name Anderson. Not going to say that. Sorry. Andrea and Andrea. Alaska. Pete. Thomas. We already said Thomas. Where's Gregory? No. Well, it did pop into my mind that after last week, we got a Gregory in every group and we just laughed so hard. And then somebody named Gregory was like, hey, I'm Gregory. So maybe there is something in here for Gregory. So, hey, Gregory. George. Tom. Jenny. Jetson. Jet. If you hear like a name that's not yours or your person's, but you know somebody or have a pet or anything like that, it still counts. And sometimes if it's somebody that's passed, they're coming in to tell you hello. Terry. Michael. Okay. I want to get letter tile. No, I want to get some more than just names. Please give me more than just names right now, because we're going to get letter tiles for those. We'll get some more places. Cincinnati, I heard. India. Australia, particularly like, I don't know, hang on. Yeah, Australia. Well, sorry, I couldn't narrow it down more than that. I'm hearing Singapore, Uganda, what? Or like Uruguay? Interesting. Shout out to y'all. Peterson or something like that. There, maybe you're from somewhere called like Petersville or Peterson Town. I don't know. It has the name Peter in it. St. Peter's, maybe even. Russian. Somebody might be Russian or from Russia or living in Russia. Or you like Russia. Germany. I'm hearing Bolsheviks. Somebody might have ancestry with Bolsheviks or something like that, or be interested in that history. The rose is coming through. I'm also seeing an ocean with pine trees. Kind of reminds me of Alaska or Oregon coastlines. I'm seeing some Native American ancestry or lineage for some of you, or you have a guide coming through who looks like one of those people from that culture. Some of you like fairies. You're into fairies. What else? Let's look at occupations for some of you. I hear like hospitality, wait staff. Somebody makes really good money that's watching. Somebody dresses really nice because you make good money, like you show off the good things about your wealth that you've accumulated yourself. I feel like you're proud of it. So that's a hint for somebody. Rebecca. There's always a Rebecca. Some of you are in business with yourselves. Some of you travel. And some of you go overseas. I feel like this card is connected to this card because this lady looks like the same lady. So those of you that just heard traveling overseas or whatever I was saying with this card before, it could indicate that you and your person are going to reunite because of that unity that I see with them. Oof. And 3 of wands being about what you want. So that's just a little message that came in for some of you. Okay, let's move on to some tiles. I could do this all night, but we must let it come to an end eventually. So here's my little tile letter bag. This is an old Ipsy bag because I used to have an Ipsy subscription. And we're just going to dig around in there and get some tiles. I do this a lot. Like I'm going to do a shout out to a gal I watch called Mystic Rose. She does like, if you love romance readings, that's like what she does. And she is amazing at channeling at the end of her. And she's a reader that uses letter tiles. And she's not the only reason that I've decided to do this, but the way that she does it, I really like. So I am going to steal a little page from her book there and give her credit where credit's due. I will put a shout out to her in the description box and put a link so you can go check out her channel if you love like readings for romance and you like her to take it seriously, unlike me, then she's definitely a lady to go watch. So the way she does is she lays these out, initials and full names can be spelled out, even if you don't hear me say them. Other words can pop out, places, people, that kind of thing. If there's duplicates, you can duplicate letters, even if there's one here. Even if there's a 1 letter missing, it still counts. If it kind of sounds like say your name was Rex, but just RX was there, that would still count if it stands out to you. Again, if it's like a name or something that stands out to you about somebody else besides you and your person, you can still count it. Lots of E's. Bye-bye. And I'll read the letters out too if you're like on your phone and you can't see. Cute. Okay. I think I want like 1 more row of letters here. Okay. I just heard Monica, Max, Rose, and Rosie. Who is Rose and Rosie? Who are you? Have you made it here yet? Because we hear from you guys a lot. Vix or Victor. Vix might be something short or like a last name. Okay, that's good. I hear Cincinnati again, so that's a big one there. It's me. I'm hearing Polly. Lyle. Niles or Nile. Joy. That could be a name or it could just be something. I'm seeing pen, so some of you could write, or this person could have a fancy pen, or they could write. I'm seeing like, I don't know exactly what the names are, and I don't want to butcher anybody's name, but I'm seeing like names that might have like a Q or an X in them, like Joaquin, or like like Dominique, or like something very different that you don't usually hear, or just in common names. It could be like names that are foreign to me as an American, that kind of deal. FTM might stand for something to somebody. It could be like an inside joke, or it could be just something that stands for something that stands out to you. Some of you might be from New York City or New York or the Bronx, I'm hearing. I'm hearing the name Poya, Poya, for some reason. I don't know if that's like a last name or if it's something that stands out to you in some way. Sorry, I just kicked the stand I was using. Judy, Wyatt, Cammy, Yasmin, Drew, Jordan, Dashid or Dashish, something like that. It might have just Daj or Ish or something in those letters. If I butcher a pronunciation, it could still mean that I still got you. Okay, something about eyes. Somebody could wear glasses. We saw that before. Somebody could work with eyes in some way or have something to do with their eyes. I'm hearing dingo. Like maybe you live somewhere where there's dingoes, like those little dogs or whatever they are. I'm not actually entirely sure if I know what a dingo is. You can tell me in the comments if you like. A yak. Maybe you live somewhere where there's yaks. I'm hearing Wendigo. Interesting. Okay. No Wendigos up in here, just in case. Some of you might know about them or be afraid of them. You know, some of you might study. Again, we had that Native American ancestry come in. So yeah. And I'm seeing the word Q, like Q-U-E, like you're in, like you're cued, or you're, I'm not sure what that means. The word go is there. Some of you might work at the post office or have something in that is, yeah, maybe you deliver things. Envy. Some of you might be jealous of those other friends, perhaps. Or that might just resonate for you in some other way. Some of you might have a dog. Some of you might have a cat. I don't know if some of you have a flamingo, but you might see them around you. Man, if you do have a pet flamingo, let me know. Okay, and on flamingo, I'm going to leave it there. If this was helpful, tell me in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, group 2. So if you picked this little unicorn and these cards, let's go ahead. This will be what's kind of between you. This is your person and you. We're going to get probably a couple more animal cards for you and your person, just to give you an indication that you're in the right place. Sorry, I got to put my earbuds in. Okay. There we go. There it goes. All right. So we're going to look at you first. We have number 53, the Seahorse Spirit. Watch and wait. So yeah, you've kind of been waiting and wondering about this person, sort of like group 1 was. Kind of maybe you haven't heard from them. You're wondering, you know, it definitely feels like a no contact type of deal. So that's coming through first, and you're being polite. I don't think you're reaching out, at least not anymore. And you're waiting to see where they are, if they're going to materialize, if they're going to come forward and let you know that they're like ticked off or what. I am getting a sense with you, some of you guys, that perhaps you kind of know that you did something that would upset them if they knew, and you think possibly they have found out, and you're like laying low waiting to see, okay, I haven't heard from them, they haven't been liking my posts, you know, those kinds of things. Is something wrong? You know, did they find out and they're mad at me? Those kinds of energies are coming through as well. There's been a lot of energies coming through, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each individual situation. just kind of going through as many of them as I can and just pick the things that pertain to you. 45, parrot spirit, watch your words. Yeah, you're being very careful with your words. You're also going back and replaying conversations in your mind to see if something there gives you a hint of what you might have said wrong. There it is. And 23, eagle spirit. Spirit has your back. Okay, and you might even be praying. Okay, praying that this turns out okay, some of you. Maybe not all, but some. And this also could just be confirmation from your guides that they have your back. You might have a very strong connection to your guides. So those are the first energy check-ins that I have with you. So let's look at your first animal energy for your person. We have 40. Mouse spirit, tend to the small things. Mouse spirit with tend to the small things. First off, mice are elusive. They hide in your walls and stuff. And so I do feel like, you know, they've been out of contact, definitely. What they're doing right now is tending to small things. You may have noticed that about them. Like if they're not really going out and doing a bunch of things, they might just be going to work at home if you've been like keeping tabs on them. You know, I'm not really seeing them going out and socializing with like a ton of other people besides you, which is also making it hard for you to decide if they're like excluded you for some reason or if they're upset with you or what their problem is with you. Okay. You definitely feel very much like you're in the dark, but you feel like something has shifted and you're not sure what they're over there doing. You know, kind of like you wonder what are those little dirty mice doing in my kitchen while I'm laying here trying to go to sleep? What if one runs across my face when I'm sleeping? You know, that kind of, please let my cats get it and fast, you know. Not that you want a cat to get your little mouse, but let's go ahead and keep going. What else about this person's spirit? This feels a lot like friendship. Or maybe a coworker, maybe not as much romantic as I felt with group 1. 49, rabbit spirit, now is a lucky time. Interesting. This person might be somebody who seems very lucky to you. They might live a charmed life. They might have things that you perceive are better or more than what you have. That's just a little like energy check-in for some to let you know you're in the right spot. That's what all or most of this is. Okay, last, the swan, time for a deep dive. Yeah, they seem like it gives me hermit energy, sort of being like not very social. They're kind of keeping to themselves. This person might be a very good looking person. That might be a hint for some of you that you're in the right spot. And if they're not like a good looking person, like they're somehow beautiful to you in some way, even if this is platonic. So I do feel a little bit of romance vibes with those last 2 cards with this person. So take it for how it resonates. This could be romantic or platonic though. So let's look at your, like, are they upset is kind of what we're using with these. So are they upset? We have spring hike, a horizon of possibilities welcomes the curiosity of your soul. Sorry, I'm just making sure my computer is not saying something bluey. This computer's getting all friggin' bluey on me. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Horizon of possibilities welcomes the curiosity of your soul. The curiousness of wondering is killing you. We're aware, spirit. We need to know what's going on with this person. Show us what they're feeling. Okay, so fertility. This could be like being pregnant with ideas. It doesn't have to mean that they're actually pregnant, but for a few specific some, it could be that this person is being distant from you because they're pregnant and they don't know how to tell you, even if they're not pregnant by you or, you know, you're not in a relationship with them. Romantically, it does feel like that could be a possibility for some. So, but yeah, it's kind of like they are keeping quiet for a big reason, it looks like. At least if they're pregnant, they are. This could be somebody like a child of yours, and they become distant towards you. And I don't want to freak you out if this is a parent situation. Not all of your children are going to be preggers, okay? But that's just a very specific one coming in for somebody. The other realm of fertility is like they're involved in some kind of a very big, significant undertaking in their life or some kind of life event that you're maybe not privy to, and they're kind of going through it in a quiet way with that Hermit energy. But they're being very elusive, even to me. We have honeysuckle red here. Sweet and new, your emotions are at the root of this situation. Use the color red to soothe and heal. Okay, so that's just some more information for you. So you might want to meditate on the color red. Wear the color red. She's wearing red. There is a lot of red in these cards now that I'm looking at them. And they're not all like that. So like this one's not red. This one's kind of like teal. Yeah. So something to think about with red. There might be other things with the color red that pop up with this person just in general. Also, there's that idea of red being kind of a color of anger. Could be part of this as well, because you're worried that maybe they're angry at you, or what is their problem. To me, it feels like distance. I'm not seeing like hostility coming from this person to you. It feels like distance and like secretive energy. And you have no idea if it has something to do with something you've done wrong. And I really feel like overall, this person doesn't have a problem with you. They have a problem maybe, but not with you. And their problem or whatever they're going through could be something that they're keeping very close to their vest, but it doesn't feel like it's like something like, oh, I'm mad at you and I'm not going to talk to you. Okay. But they are tending to the small things and being secretive around you. So we're going to grab some tarot and I'm going to ask, no, we're not taking that one again. So Spirit, this bottom one's calling to me. Tell me reasons why this person is being distant. Lots of emotions, lots of things that they're looking at. Show me if there's anybody in this pile where somebody is actually upset so that we can look at that. The Magician. I see these ones as well. The Eight of Wands. And the Ace of Cups. Okay, so there are a few of you where somebody is upset. So that gives me kind of an idea of how vast this pile of cards is. So we're going to start getting really general and also kind of jumping all around, because I want the messages to pop out to those that need to hear them. But not all the messages are going to be for everybody. So some of you might be American, because this American eagle here. American bald eagle. Okay. I mean, they're North American bald eagles, by the way. So just to make sure I'm being all inclusive to North America. Here we go. Okay, so Ace of Cups, there could be somebody here who is in a romantic situation where the person is kind of being quiet around you for a certain specific reason. And we're going to get a specific card for you, and then we're going to move on just to see what they're upset about, okay? This person... the person that you know is moving very quickly. They might still be being a hermit, but they seem to be moving quickly in somewhere, or they disappeared very quickly. So we're going to get a message for you about what's bothering them that does have something to do with you. They might not be upset with you, but it has something to do with you. And the Magician. The Magician just feels like a yes to that question, I'm pretty sure. So we're just going to focus on these two real quick. Show me the people that are in a relationship, what was bothering that person. Eight of Cups. They feel like maybe you walked away from them in a certain instance. Or that you emotionally weren't there for them in some way. That's what I'm picking up for that card. Some of you, they might have... If this is a romantic reading and some of them walked away from you, but you don't know why, then you're still just kind of in the same boat as everybody else here, and they're not upset with you. Does that make sense? So, okay, let's keep going. This Eight of Wands energy. What is this person upset about? You said maybe something that hurt their feelings, or you broke their heart in some way. That also could feel like romantic. And maybe they feel that you focused on... So yeah, some kind of like something that somebody said or did that made their heart ache a little bit. So keep in here for the like advice section, and definitely for the channeling section where channel names and stuff with new letter tiles and other just different ways that I channel stuff. I just usually flip cards and find little details that pop words and phrases and places into my sorry if you heard that evil laughing, it was my TV. It took a long time for that movie to load. Okay, anywho, yeah. So yeah, keep in touch. There might be some more in here for you. So, but for the most vast majority of everybody else, the person is not upset. So Spirit, how can these people tell if, oh Lordy, come on. How can these people tell if their person is the one that is upset or not, depending on their given situations? How can they tell that their person is the one that's upset? Give them a hint to that. This one is a romantic like situation, and they're feeling like you walked away from them emotionally in some way. So like if they just ghosted you and you're like, I don't know how I could have possibly walked away from them emotionally, your guides aren't really sure on how to help you with that at this time. You would probably have to call me for like a private reading to get that in depth, because this does feel like they just keep saying it's like a romantic thing. You walked away from them emotionally for some reason. So if you're like, I never walked away from that person emotionally, I can't even think about you, then it's probably not, you know, I feel like you would be a little bit aware of what they were referring to. Okay. This one, let's get a hint, please, and then we'll move on to the more general stuff. If the person that you're reading this about is somebody that generally gets upset at other people very easily and gets like sensitive, or they like misconstrue or look too much into things, like they misconstrue a tone of a text and think that you're being mad because you used an exclamation point or something like that, then that's probably an indication that that's the person that you're dealing with. Okay, the rest of you are kind of off the hook here. So let's get some examples for the people who the person isn't mad at them. Why are they being distant, besides their emotions being all over the place? Busyness at work with the Two of Pentacles for some. Something fell apart for somebody else, like they had a major setback of some kind. These may be things that you're aware of or that you're not aware of, okay? And so you'll just have to stick around for the channeling and see if you are in that group. Two of Swords, they're mentally stuck in some way and don't know what action to take next, but it has nothing to do with being angry at you. Family drama. Illness. That could be an illness that you're aware of, or an illness that you are not aware of. Something being out of balance for them also could be a card about not being in a good way, healthy-wise. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop there. Let's see what else we've got coming in here. Okay, so Spirit, for the people who have somebody that is kind of upset, what is your advice for the people that are in a romantic relationship where the person is upset? What advice do you have for them? Yeah, some of you might have to pull your energy back to you and just wait, because I feel like some of you haven't really, like, I think you might kind of know why they're upset, but like, I feel like for a couple of the, like, there's not really much you can do. It's up to them if they want to come forward. And so pulling your energy back is a good way to draw them back to you, but it's also a good way to get your energy back to yourself, because it's shooting out to them every time you think about them, which leaves you quite depleted. Some of you in this group might be a water sign, or your person might be a water sign. That's just extra confirmation. For this group, yeah, same thing. Wait for them. See how her back's to them waiting? It's not your job to make them come forward, and like, it's up to them if they're going to, you know, even if they feel like you did something, they have to come forward and at least let you know that. You wouldn't be here looking at this if you weren't totally sure, or if you were totally sure they were mad, probably. You'd probably be looking like, are they going to get over being mad at me? Whereas most of you are like, are they mad at me? What's their problem with me? Is it something that's angry? You know, that kind of energy is coming through for those. So pull your energy back, both of you, of those scenarios, both of the people in those scenarios. pull your energy back and wait for them. If they don't come forward and you can't stand it anymore, send like a text and be like, hey, I don't know what happened to you. You kind of disappeared. If you don't ever want to talk to me again for some reason and you don't choose not to tell me that, I guess that's up to you. But please know that I'm here willing to talk to you about this if you want to come forward. Okay. What about the people who are off the hook? What's your advice for them? Ace of Pentacles and Six of Wands. They're going to come back towards you. Yeah, I don't think that you have to worry other than just like kind of pulling back the energy from the worry, because it's not really anything to worry about because it's not about you, and then just kind of wait and see if they come forward. If it takes them too very much longer, you can send them one text that says, hey, I just haven't heard from you for a long time. I'm just wondering if everything's okay. If you want to reach out, I'm here to listen, or something along those lines. Okay, so now let's do channeling to see if you are in the right group for more confirmation. So we're just going to start with Spirit. What are some careers that you see or hobbies? I see somebody might birdwatch. Somebody might investigate or research something, you or your person. Some of you might work with animals or work outside in some capacity. And some of you might do kind of like cosplay. What else? Some of you work in communications. Some of you work in a field that is unusual for the gender you identify in. So if it's like a male-dominated gender, you're kind of like the odd person out if you're a feminine. For some of you, this person you grew up with, you've known them since you were young. Or you've known them since they were very young. Some of you, sorry, I just got a text and I don't know who it is. Some of you are self-employed, or your person is self-employed. Some of you have psychic abilities, or your person has psychic abilities. And some of you live by the ocean. I heard Cincinnati again. I'm pretty sure I heard that in group 1 a couple of times. Yes, I did. Montana. Some of you live in a city or a town that's considered sleepy or lazy in some way. Take that as if it resonates. I'm hearing the name Robin and Rebecca again. I'm hearing tulip farms or somewhere where there's a lot of flowers. Some of you might work as a florist or in a flower shop. Some of you might like to hike outdoors. Ruth. Sam. Some of you might enjoy tea or have Asian in your background. I always say that when I get this card because it's so culturally Asian looking. Some of you watch big fashion shows or maybe involved in fashion shows where it's like very avant-garde, or maybe some of you do avant-garde artwork like this, like these cards. There's more of that self-employed energy. There's a lot of duplicate cards in here that are a little bit different from each other. Ontario. That could be Canada, or it could be Ontario, Oregon, or anywhere else called Ontario. I'm sure there's way more than just those two. Those are just the two I've heard of. Ten of Swords. Some of you might do hair. Some of you might have very beautiful, thick hair. Some of you might have red hair. Or your person. Put your person in there if they stand in that place. Some of you have a family that fights a lot, or their person has a family that fights a lot. Toronto is coming through. Nicholas. Normandy. Cool. Okay. Now we're starting to get into that stuff. So let's get the letter tiles. Because I'm just excited to do this. So I've done this with all the groups. I'm, just going to do it once, but I just like want to give a shout out and put a tag in my description box for Mystic Rose. Is a tarot reader that I watch on YouTube all the time. She does like all romantic readings. I know, and you guys are like, you hate romantic readings, Miriam. What are you doing watching those? Well, I like hers because she's so good at channeling like people's names, and like even though I always watch it about the same person and nothing much changes in mine, she's always spot on, and she always says my name, his name, and like it's wild. So the way she does hers is she just lays them out like this. So give a shout out to her. I'm gonna put her down in the description box so you can go watch her stuff. If you love those readings, you'll love her. So if you see your name spelled out or your initials, that's confirmation you're in the right place. If you see their name or initials, you're in confirmation that you're in the right place. I will also say out names and initials that pop up to me if hard to talk and channel at the same time. Even if like all their letters aren't there, I still will have other names that pop out to me. And then if there's a letter missing, like one letter missing out of like your name or theirs, it still counts. If you see a name of somebody you know, or like even a pet or a past loved one, or just any word or phrase that sticks out to you, that also gives you confirmation that you're here. Anything you see that speaks to you in some way is also confirmation that you've been in the right place. So she explains it way better than I do. Okay, so let's get a few more duplicates. Okay. I saw Mitch. I just heard Polanski, so somebody might like Polanski films or be into film movies. Vivian, Luke, John, Lila. Okay, I'll take it. Somebody might identify as LGBTQ in some way. That might be or you might consider yourself to be in a lifestyle that would be considered in that community, even if you don't identify as part of that community. Okay, Gad. There's something about like, it reminds me of those like comic books where they say like gasp and pow and that kind of thing. That's definitely something that's coming through. I'm still grabbing out extra ones and throwing back the duplicates. Okay. I might go ahead and say we're good here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. I'm seeing like yo-yo. Somebody might like yo-yos, or you might have liked them when you were a kid. I'm hearing dad. So like somebody might have like recently lost your dad, and your dad had messages for you in this group. Sorry, my voice is so... I sound like a person whose voice is changing. It's a bad allergy attack yesterday got me where I am today. Okay, I'm seeing pilot. Somebody might be a pilot of some kind. VCRs is coming through. Somebody might have had a VCR growing up, or you might be at an age where you remember VCRs existing. Jacardi is a name that I'm hearing. Might be a last name. Montag is coming through. I know that Montag can be a name, but it also can be Montag, I believe, is German for Monday, isn't it? No, don't quote me on that. I'm hearing the name Joy. Joy, you might have messages in group 1. I'm hearing Jill, Hannah. There was another H name that started like with an H-A-G, but like I lost it because this other P name started coming in, and I also lost that one. It was like a P-I. Did I say Victor already? Milo? Somebody might have an animal named Milo, or you might actually know somebody might name Milo, or your name might be Milo. This is very specific, but some of you might have actually watched that show. It was kind of old now, but it was called Spartacus, and it was on, I don't know what network it was on anymore, but you know, full disclosure, I watched that show. It was very rated R and very graphic. So don't watch it with your parents. But this word, I believe they use as a cuss word in it. Or I could be thinking of the series Rome, that they used that word instead of like the SH word. Okay. That CAK. It's like a cuss word that they use. I'm thinking of Rome. So you might have watched like old Roman movies, or like you might have watched those specific dramas. I'm hearing happy. Some of you might have like a pet named Happy, or that you might like that song Happy. Did I say Violet? Kit? Katie? Caddy? Kari? Carrie? Vivian? I just realized I had an extra V there. Oh well, too late now. I'll just keep on moving. I'm hearing country. Some of you might live in the country. Lewis. Tom. I think there might be some Toms in group 1. Tony. Hearing TK. Like somebody has the initials TK maybe. Yolanda. Some of the name you, like you. Someone might have flown kites when they were a kid, or hear that song it's on Mary Poppins. I'm not gonna sing it because my voice is really raspy. I'm seeing bar. Some of you might have met your person in a bar, or work in a bar, or they might work in a bar. They might like to go to the bar, or you might like to go to the bar. Hearing the name JP. Oh, I'm seeing it too. Johnson. Oh gosh, it was almost there. I just heard Montana again. Something about reservoirs. Somebody might work on reservoirs. Random. But thank you. Police. Could be the band. Could be you work for the police. They work for the police. Denninger could be a last name. Denninger. Sasha. Kurt. Oh, it's like a name that starts with a V that's like shortened to something. Like Val or Vad, or I don't know what Vad would be short for, but I'm hearing it. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Any locations other than what we've been hearing? Chattanooga. Anything else? No? Okay, I guess that's it. All right, if this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well if you'd like to book a private reading with me. There are ways to do so in the description box. Well, regardless if they're mad at you or not, friends, you don't have to do much to fix the situation. So relax, put your feet up, pull your energy back, and we'll see you next time, okay? Take care. Bye-bye-bye. Hi, group 3. So if you picked the little pink unicorn, let's go ahead and get into your reading about you and your person. This will be kind of like what they're upset about if they are. This is you, this is them. We're going to get probably 2 more animal cards for you guys to just do an energy check-in. And then we're just going to kind of go into like, you know, what they're upset about, what you can do, some advice portions, and then we're going to get into some name channeling, place channeling, circumstances and all of that, just kind of at random. It's been very random so far, and I don't expect it to change. So let's go ahead and start with you and see where we go. We have number 2 with Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. So some of you might be in a situation in your life where things are very much speeding up for you in terms of career or in terms of like what's going on in your life. Speeding up could be anything. It could be like speeding up in your family life, speeding up in your career, speeding up in your spiritual, speeding up in popularity in some kind of a hobby you're doing, or spirit, speeding up in any way that seems to be happening. You're very caught up in whatever it is, though. It's moving forward very fast. I don't feel like that necessarily has anything to do with this situation. Okay. Unless you're wondering, that you've been so busy or you've been moving and advancing so fast that maybe that's why they're upset with you. That is something that is coming through for some of you. Not all, but some. Okay. What else about group 3? Energy check-in for group 3. Wow, those 2 really wanted to come out, so we gotta do 2. All right. We have Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. Some of you might like spiders. Again, making your dreams real. Some of you are like very proud of what you've done, and you should be. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of accomplishment for a lot of people in this group, whatever that accomplishment looks like for each of you. 13, Cat Spirit, claim your independence. Yeah, I feel like you've had to take a lot of time to yourself. You've had to really work hard and keep focused, it feels like, for a lot of you on what you've been doing, or you've just been enjoying it, that you're that focused on it. And number 1, Ant Spirit, time to collaborate. But you kind of stopped and wondered where your person is, where this person is that you've been wondering about, perhaps. Maybe they're not reaching out as much. Maybe you haven't been having time to reach out to them, and you're just wondering how they're doing. And hoping that they're not mad at you just because, you're not trying to avoid them, is what I'm getting from your feelings here. Okay, so let's see who this person is and what's going on with them and who they are to you. 68. Wombat Spirit, be at home. Yeah, a lot of people maybe, okay. So some of you, I feel like this is definitely a romantic connection that's committed. And you're doing the long distance thing and you're really taking off, and they're staying at home holding down the fort possibly, or at the very least, like, not much has changed for them. They're still kind of where they were before, and then you're like kind of taking off like a rocket. So that's like the big like situation energy that I see overall. The different scenarios of what that might look like are very different, but I think we've kind of nailed down what it is about this person. Let's see if there's any other types of things we need to know about. That was easy. For your person, we have 62, Turtle Spirit, slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, they might be waiting a lot. And Hawk Spirit, let spirit be your guide. 32, this person might be a very spiritual person. And so, it's important for them and for you to be on the same page together, I feel. And that's something that might be coming through that has caused them to have tension with you in the past. And it could be something that's affecting this situation right now. So let's see what's going on and why you think they're upset with you in the first place, or why you think they have some kind of a problem. We have Oster. I know I'm saying that wrong. 13. In the darkest of hours, when all seems to be lost, comes magic of light. Confidence. A gentle touch. Like the softness of a feather brushing your skin. Be sweet and kind to yourself and others. Okay. So part of this, I very much feel like this is somebody that is either involved with you in a relationship, or it's somebody that depends on you quite a bit, and you're like in a partnership of some kind, or like they're your child or you're their parent or something along those lines, because like this feels like you live together. Like it feels, but I feel like it's mostly like a, committed romantic relationship. They feel your confidence soaring, and theirs is kind of going down in some cases, okay? And that should be apparent to some of you if that's the person that you are watching this for, okay? For others, they feel like you need to be more gentle with them, more reassuring. You might be very well be trying to already do that, group 1, but this is just where they're coming from and what their problem is, right? and they miss having you there in the darkest hours when all seems to be lost. They feel like they don't have you right there where they need you. And I feel like some of them understand why, and that you don't do it to be mean or anything. It's just the situation gets to be very, very hard on them. And they're trying to hang in there. Slow and steady wins the race, but they are like at home and it's just hard. I don't feel like they may have been very vocal about this, and that's probably why you're wondering what their problem is. I think that some of them feel like I don't want you to get mad at them or frustrated that they're having these feelings, because I feel like some of them know that like you're doing what you have to do. This is your dream. You guys agreed on this, yada, yada, yada. But yet they're still having those feelings. It's like when you're like, yeah, you can go out. It's cool. And then you sit at home and you start worrying about what they're doing. And you're like, dang it, I told myself I wasn't going to do this. But yet here are these feelings, right? What do I do with them? And so I feel like they are actually trying to keep themselves in check. Just a second. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. What else was I saying? Not much else. This feels like pretty contained to a type of situation of you being out there and then being kind of more subdued back at home, being in that supportive role and you're kind of away a lot is really what I'm getting. So if that's not fitting your situation, definitely pick a different pile. So let's get some energy here, Spirit. Can you generate a question here or two? Okay, is there anybody in this group whose person is actually really upset at them in the manner that they're worried they are? Like they're actually really stewing mad. No. I'm seeing a really understanding energy, and they actually, for the most part, what I'm picking up on is that they hate that they're feeling this way. Like it, especially if they're feeling insecure or jealous or worried about what you're doing out there. I think deep down inside, they know you're not, right? If you are, they don't think you are. I always got to throw that in there just to make me all inclusive. And then I just heard somebody be like, wait, are they cheating on me? That would be opening up a whole other can of worms. Call me for a private reading or wait and give a suggestion of doing Are They Cheating on Me video. Which I would hate to do. Okay, let's keep going here. But I would still do it. I still do those readings that I'm like, ew, I don't want to, but I'll still do it. Okay, yeah. So I don't feel like anybody's like hating on you or like super angry. They're fighting with these feelings, and it's kind of it's stealing their everyday joy and kind of creeping into everyday conversations with you, and that's why you're picking up on something kind of being off. It feels like this will balance out for some rather quickly. To me, it feels like in a lot of cases, this might be a newer relationship, or the two of you might be very young, even if you've been together for a while. And that does tend to be, and not to be condescending or anything, I'm just older and wiser children. Been with the same person for a long time. But it has that kind of newer energy that I remember feeling when I was younger. And like my hubby would go out of town and I'd be like, oh, I'm going to die without him, kind of feeling. And then of course those doubts and worries and jealousies did creep in for me. And so I am feeling that connection with you. And whenever I feel a connection like that, it's a message that is supposed to be for somebody. You're tired of feeling that way, and you're tired of them feeling that way, and they're tired of them feeling that way. It's like a thing that's hanging over all of you and kind of affecting you, even though I really don't feel like there's anything mostly for anybody to be worried about. Like, I don't feel like you're leaving them behind or anything. But yeah, it kind of feels like you're the one getting it all, and they're the ones kind of sitting back behind and dealing with that. They know that that's what they signed up for, but that is what's, essentially is what's kind of eating them up inside. So if I keep repeating myself over and over and over again, because I feel like we are kind of on a shorter reading for you guys because the other two had like a bunch of different scenarios. Let's go ahead and just honor that and start kind of moving forward. So Spirit, what kind of advice do you have for group 3? Sorry, I've been trying to do this reading all day long. Yeah, talk to them. Bring it up. Sit down, have a cup of tea. This is the first, I've gotten this card for like so many readings lately, but like usually when I get it, it just is like a confirmation that the person watching or the person that they're watching about has some kind of connection to Asian roots. But in this particular case, they just want you to sit down and have tea with that person. So different meaning came out for that card for a change. And just let them know, like, is there anything bothering you? It's okay if there is, even if it feels like, just let me know. I want to help, And then when they do start trying to explain, if they do start to try to explain, okay, and we'll see if they will, okay, be sure to not bristle at any statements that some of them might make, because I feel like some of them might phrase things in a way that makes you feel like they're accusing you of doing something, and they're actually not. They're expressing like what's going on inside their mind that's bothering them so much. And so that's something I wanted to throw a warning out to somebody, because that felt very specific. Especially if this is new or you're very young, you're both still learning to maybe talk to each other, how to speak to one another. Don't be afraid of the future. They are afraid of the future. That's a fear that you can try to like help alleviate for them and talk with them about. Yeah, 8 of Swords, but see how the cage is a little bit open? All this person has to do is look up. They're not blindfolded like they always are. I feel like they're just on the verge of seeing. Okay, and you can just help them not be afraid to look up and take that first step with you by being so open and compassionate with them. Okay, so the main advice is to just put yourself out there and just ask them if there's anything that you can do to help them feel more secure. You can even, some of you might even have a relationship that's close enough that you can say like, hey, I just wanted to check with you about something, and like, I don't want it to sound like I'm like so special or whatever, but you're not sitting here like feeling like left out, are you? Or you're not sitting here feeling like you're just like blah, stuck at home and nobody's here to care for you, are you? It's okay to maybe for some of you to even say that, okay? 2 of Swords. It's okay if you don't know how to say that to that person. Just take it if it resonates, okay? Okay, so what next here? Spirit, how is this person going to respond to them reaching out and talking to them? Good. Yep. It'll bring so many things to light and make them feel better. And ignite some love and some passion. It'll bring some healthy change. Like how she's burying her chest. You'll bury your feelings to each other. Doing it in a calm way, like you're worried that they're upset and not upset that they're upset, is a very good way to go, okay? If conflicts arise, keep it back to that calm point. If you start feeling like it's going to come up like to an argument, be like, hang on, I don't want this to be an argument. I'm asking you so that I can help you fix it, and I'm sorry if I came off defensive just then, or however you need to do it just to keep it calm. Okay, even if that's like, let's take a break and walk away. I don't think that's going to happen to anybody in this group, but just, some general advice there from your guides. Okay, I think we're good enough then. Okay, so let's see outcomes, possible outcomes, Spirit. Yeah, the main thing with 5 of Pentacles is it's the fear. It's the fear of being left out in the cold, but not the reality. The reality is that everything's okay with this card, okay? You will find balance. And this is an okay time. It's a lucky time to have this conversation. I feel lots of love between both of you, etc. and so forth. So just trust it and move forward. Okay, so now I'm going to just flip some more cards and just like get some locations, maybe any indicators that you're also confirmed in the right group. Anything about your person or you or people around you. And then we're going to do letter tiles for the first time ever on this channel. I'm so excited. We're going to do those last. So, but if your name or theirs might come up earlier, or somebody else's name of somebody you know, take that as confirmation that you're just in the right place. Some of you use lights like these or decorations kind of like this. Some of you craft. And that can be you or your person or anybody that you know. Some of you are Scorpio, and some of you are not afraid of things changing or shying away from things that change. Yeah, self-made people, self-employed, successful. You have a lot of love for your person. They have a lot of love for you. Yeah, I feel like a lot of this, like some of you might be like star quality. You might be like famous, and that's why you're gone all the time, or you're getting there, getting more. Lots of people know you might be semi-famous or all the way famous. Tell us who you are. Ace of Pentacles. Some of you make, yeah, really good money, and this is like a new thing for you. This energy is new. Other things, Spirit. I just heard Veronica and Jezebel. Some of you live near the ocean, or you live somewhere with tall buildings, or you live somewhere with tall buildings that's right next to the ocean. LA comes to mind. Not that the tall buildings are right next to the ocean, but, you know, they do have that little circle of tiny, like it's a very small amount compared to a lot of other cities that are just like kind of right there clustered together, and then it just kind of spreads out into the flatter stuff. Knight of Cups. Some of you might have a cultural resonance with this like dress and this culture, like India, Eastern Asian culture. Some of you might work or go to college, or you live in, you know, you're very surrounded by academia, or your person is. Somebody plays the piano. More people living by the ocean. Some of you might have like braids for your hair. Your person does. I've seen this person with braids a couple of times. Something about this fox is coming through to me, but I'm not sure. You might just have this fox energy in your... Some of you might have an anatomical heart tattoo. Or, oh my gosh. Seahorse. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what I almost just called that seahorse. I don't know why I call it. I always try to call it something else, and it has nothing to do with seahorses, and it makes no sense that I always go to the same thing that's not a seahorse. Okay, I'm going to go on before I embarrass myself. Some of you have a picture of Venus coming out of the clamshell. Or somebody might be an art student or studied art, or somebody might be an artist. Robert. I heard Renaissance. I'm not sure what that's about. Something about Rapunzel as well. Maybe somebody resonates with that story, or you have like a dog or something named Rapunzel. That was a really bad example. How bad, how mind blowing it would be if somebody just got on and they're like, I have a dog named Rapunzel. Like, oh my gosh. That would be quite the confirmation, group 3. Some of you might have very random senses of humor, or you wouldn't have made it this far. That's so funny. Some of you might have like allergies to candles. Or some of you might love candles. Joey. James or Jameson. Jasper. Very Jamont. Jamont? I don't know how to spell it because I've never heard that name before. Julie. I heard Geronimo. I'm not sure. Maybe you like that story of that person. Okay. Jeffrey. Janice. Lots of J's. Courtney. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get some letter tiles. And I'm only going to do this once on the channel where I explain that my biggest influencer that has gotten me into letter tiles, even though lots of readers do it, is Mystic Rose Tarot. And she does I'll put a link for her in the description box. Somebody's name might be Bo. She does this thing where she lays them out like I'm doing right now. And she says that pretty much, you know, if it has initials in it, you know, and I'll call out names and all things and places and whatever pops out to me. You can do the same while you're watching. Initials count, and that's of anybody you know, anything that stands out to you, your initials, their initials. You can duplicate letters. If you have like almost your entire name spelled out, but you're missing a letter, that still counts as a confirmation. Nancy. I don't know why I said it like that. Nancy. Weird. Okay. This little V is kind of faded and it makes me think of something and I'm not sure what, but it might resonate with you in some way. It might speak to you in some way to confirm you're in the right spot. Okay, we have BOEXG, EANTKWVPRIT so far. We have an L. Get some more. Of course, they're all the ones I already friggin' have out here. Okay. We have that one. Already have a K. Already have an R. Okay. 2 more that we don't already have. There was a kitty cat here on that A. Some of you might have a cat whose name starts with an A. Or your name starts with an A and you have a cat. And I know there's going to be so many times that like I miss one letter that's already out here. I promise that will happen almost every time because that's how my little crazy brain works. It doesn't notice things like that. You, okay. I'll take that. Okay. Okay. Hearing that old, and back in the 90s, they had these little necklaces that kids wore to school and the bracelets and things that was like WWJD, and it was stood for what would Jesus do. Some of you might have had something like that or gone to a school where a lot of the kids wore those. Hearing Boeing and then like the word bow. So not just the name Bo, but the word bow that's spelled like. Yeah, with a W. That also, I've seen a name that's like for a girl that's a Bo with a W. It's really cute. I'm hearing the name Kit. I heard that one earlier today. Lady. Somebody might have a doggy named Lady or a pet. I'm hearing the name Jing. Like Xing, Jing or Zing. I don't know. Oh, I hear Viper. And it reminded me of the Viper Room in LA. We had that LA reference before. Yeah, and Beverly Hills is coming out. There's lots of California, that area. Yeah, Oakland is also standing out to me. Wow. Okay. JT is coming through. I think we had JT in another pile. Will. Rhonda. Henry. Even though there's not very many Henry letters in there. Oh, yeah, there is. It's not the H. I'm hearing Deddy, like Deddy. I'm not sure what that is. Op-ed. Something about op-ed. Believe. Somebody might have that stenciled somewhere in your house or have a little sign that says believe, or you have like a little t-shirt that says it, or you like little trinkets that say it. Some of you use that shampoo. Some of you use like shampoo bars. I use shampoo bars. I really like them. But I use a different brand than the brand I'm seeing here. And I'm going to say the brand because they can pay me if they want me to advertise like that. Ernie. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Guy. I just heard my cat Sullivan, so there might be somebody named Sullivan, or somebody might have a squawky cat at home that loves to squawk. That's like vocal. There's like a name that has an A and a P in it, but I'm not sure if I'm familiar with it, so I'm not sure how to say it. Like Apony or it's got like an O and an I and an N and an E. I'm sorry. So let me know if you that here. Somebody here does jujitsu, maybe. I'm hearing pancakes. Somebody might like pancakes or maybe you have a dog or a pet named Pancake. I'm getting some kind of like, some of you might cuss a lot because I'm just getting a lot of cuss words coming through my mind. Some of you guys might have cussy guides. Your person might cuss a lot. You're all in good company if you do. I cuss a lot. Oh, I'm hearing that this word here, Prit, is standing out to me. That might be a name, or I don't know, maybe somebody came up with a unique name for their kid or something like that. I don't know. Rodney. I don't know if I said that already. Sorry. Levi. Oh, I don't know why Leprechaun's popping into my head, but Leprechaun just popped into my head. Instead of Lucky Charms, the cereal. Oh, I just advertised for them. Crap. Whoops. It's okay. Nobody watches. Somebody's name might be Wit. Like Whitman, like Wit. Janice, if I didn't already say Janice. Somebody might practice Qigong. If you're like, what's that? Then don't worry about it. Somebody might work for your local police department or somebody you know does. Arkansas just came through. Tamika. Toaster. Good grief. That's a very strange thing to come up. Ribbon. So you might have a pet named Ribbon. Very like interesting object names that feel like they're names. Somebody might bead things using beads. Rocket. Somebody might have a pet name. Lots of pets. Or things I think sound like pet names. Somebody could be watching a show called Justified, or the word justified might mean something to you in some sense. If you work for police department, they use the word justified a lot. What else? Somebody might be a pillar of the community. Maybe how would you know? Generally people that don't describe themselves that way. Nan, the name Nan is coming through. Or somebody's Nan or Nana might be here to say hello. Roger, if I didn't say that already. Parker. Rick, and then something else that starts with a RIS sound at the beginning. So if your name isn't Rick, but it starts with a RIS sound, then take that as confirmation that you're in the right place. Jane, Jackie, Jag, I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds cool. Eve, Ava, Dorna, something, Dorna. And Gus. Oof, okay, I gotta stop. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, hello, group 4. It has been a crazy day, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we made it. There's been some crazy energy flying around, and let's just look all at your person and you. Is this person upset with you, and why? If they are, that's right. You ended up with 2 cards over here already, so we'll probably get 1 more for you and then 2 more for your person. But let's start here with you. With 34 Hummingbird Spirit, be here now. 59 Starfish Spirit, open to infinite possibilities. Yeah, you're just like ready to find out what the deal is. I feel like you're not super fearful of what you hear, even if it's bad or not what you want to hear, but like you're just ready to find out what's going on. What else about them, Spirit? Lizard Spirit, dream the world into being. Okay, so what I'm getting from you for your energy check-in is that you might live near the ocean or somewhere there's like little lizards running around and starfish, and hummingbirds possibly. I'm not sure if hummingbirds live near the ocean. I know they live up around where I live, but I don't live anywhere near the ocean. Anywho, I know that they do live in some like South American areas. They have like a lot more different kinds of them, and like they call them flying jewels in Spanish, whatever. Like, but like they have like way different like types that all have all these different vibrant colors. Ours are actually kind of more muted here in the United States. So anyway, some of you might live in areas where there are critters like these. So that's another energy check-in that you're in the right place. But I feel like you very much are going with the flow. You're a person who's very calm energetically. You're very in tune with your intuition and life coming at you on life's terms, and you just kind of being somebody that's just a very calm presence, which is very nice after such a chaotic day, group 4. Well, let me drink you in. Okay, let's go ahead and look at your person real quick and see what kind of stuff we got for them. 47, they have pig spirit. Look how cute this little pig is. Use your mind wisely. So your person feels very intelligent. They feel like I'm feeling like a professor or somebody who's like higher up in their field, and their field like pertains to some kind of vast knowledge that they need to have. It doesn't have to be academia. It can be other things but it's something that's very respected and something that's hard to achieve, and they've achieved it well. So like this is kind of a successful person as an energy check-in, and a very intelligent person. What else about their person? Group 4. Cow spirit, miracles are endless. Yeah, they've been celebrated possibly. They're well known in your area. And like you feel like they deserve those accolades. You do. You feel like they might be older than you, some of you. And I do feel like most of them are like old enough that they've garnered a lot of success. 44, Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. Yeah, some of them may have had a hard life, but they've come swinging back every time, and now they're a huge success. I'm like just seeing a very overall successful individual here. So that's definitely what's coming through. A little bit older. It's like this little sparkle on this cow, but it's not coming off. I guess that's just where it belongs. Okay. So these might give us a hint on if this person or what this person is upset about. Okay. If they have a problem, what would that problem be? Wreath making 44, adorn your world with spells infused with purpose, craft, and the life you desire. Excuse me. So what's coming through with this is some of them, and these might be very specific for some of you, and it's a general reading. It's going to be all over the place. Whenever I'm watching videos and they say that, I'm like, I know, don't have to say it all the time, but we say it because people yell at us for jumping all over the place. You know who you are. Okay. Adorn your world with spells infused with purpose and craft the life you desire. Okay. It feels like they might be a little bit upset about something you've chosen to do just for yourself, something that you're changing your own world with, and it's going to affect their world. So I'm definitely feeling romance vibes for this group as well. I think I've picked up on romance pretty much on every group now. Gross. But it hasn't been too bad. I've been hanging in there. It's like, yeah, like that's something that's coming through for some of you, but I don't think that's it for all of you. We have inspiration. Some of you are, being newly inspired in some way, and it's kind of affecting them in like what they're used to having go on in their world. It's changing their world because your world is changing in a way. So we have frolicking fun, flip, flutter, and fly with a playful heart. Yeah, I feel like your age difference could come into play for some of you with this situation. Like if you're younger and you like to go out, they're older and they don't want to go out. I am seeing some discrepancies there for some people. So that could be part of the conflict of what's bothering them. Okay. Obviously, if that's not what you guys do, then that wasn't for you. Moving on. I'm also seeing like, yeah, you following your inspiration in some way, and it doesn't have anything to do with them. That's kind of bothering them. Okay. So that does seem to be like the case is like this person's kind of older, set in their ways. If they're not older, they're definitely set in their ways with the way things were with you as well. And you kind of dreaming things into being and being open to these infinite possibilities and making things and having fun. And you might be socializing more and doing all these wonderful things. That's kind of cramping their style. Okay, we're going to find out exactly how much by moving forward. A lot of it's because they've always been in charge. A lot of it could be because they're older and you're still young, and now you're starting to kind of come into, you're going to peak at different times if you have different ages, right? Or if you're at different levels of success. And that can be kind of hard for somebody to go through the ebb periods when you go through the flow periods, right? So that's the main situation I think that we're dealing with here. So let's find out just exactly how, to what degree of upsetness is this person feeling? How big of a problem is this for this person? This card is definitely coming out. We have 8 of Cups. So pretty significant for some. Spirit, is there anybody in this group where it's not as significant as that? Or are they all pretty significant? They're all pretty significant. Okay, so this is a significant issue to this person. And so you being like, what's their problem? I think you are probably aware that there's a problem, but you're like, what? Why is it such a big problem? Or what is that problem even about? So we kind of know what their problem is about it. So Spirit, what's going to happen with this person? What are they planning on doing because of this conflict that's arisen? Page of Pentacles. Show me a little more. Justice and King of Swords. Okay, some of them are willing to really get the message across to you that, like, this is not an option. Very, do energy with that one. If you're not feeling that from them, then don't worry, that's not for you. And, but yeah, some of them are. And I think that you're aware of that. And I think that you've seen it before. Okay. If you're in that group that has that situation. Okay. What else, Spirit? Yeah, they really want you to understand and just see their point of view and come over to their side of the compromise, wagon there. And I'm kind of like, not fair, like, yeah, that's not fair. It's kind of illogical and unfair for, yeah, I've said unfair a few times. Strength. What else, Spirit? Hierophant, and Page of Wands. Your guides do seem to feel like you guys can work through this, though, with these cards, that you have the ability to see eye to eye like you did before, okay, even though things are different. There is a strong bond here, and I feel like you just have to reignite that beginner energy that you felt together, okay? So, Spirit, how do they do that? 7 of Cups. Yeah, focus on one emotion at a time, guys. Don't do it all at once or it piles up. So yeah, like don't try to solve it all in one day. All that stuff is coming in. Take baby steps to start, If you haven't really had a lot of communication about this, figure out a way to open up communication, but when you're both calm, those are definitely things that are coming through, and try it with one thing at a time. If it's easier to start with a mundane argument and kind of work your way up to this bigger stuff, that's fine, but however, it needs to be done by degree. 2 of Pentacles and Ace of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you guys are gonna, 2 of Pentacles is very much like, it's hard, but they make it work, right? And Ace of Wands is about a light coming on in the dark. And so that feels like things should get better for y'all, especially with opening up communication and kind of just going at it by degrees. It feels like that's a good place to start. Okay. So Spirit, when they start opening up this communication, how's the other person going to react initially when they open this up? Okay. it looks like they're going to come around fairly easily, fairly quickly. Okay, some are. So show me the ones that aren't. So if they give resistance from somebody's spirit, show me what those people should do. This won't be for everyone. If they won't move forward, right, and there's a lot of stuck energy here, you might have to set some pretty firm boundaries and be like, so what, are we just never going to talk to each other or what, right? Because, yeah, it'll wear you out putting up with that. And so that is coming through for some. If they just keep resisting you and keep resisting you and keep resisting you, your guide's main advice for that would be that you have a choice. You can either chip away at it day by day, but you have to keep chipping away at it. You can't just like, okay, and just give up for a while and then try to get back to it, right? You have to chip away at it every day by degrees, or you can end it. And that's just, you need to figure out where your level of tolerance is. We've talked about that on this channel before, and I talk about with my clients a lot. What's your level of tolerance of how long you're willing to wait and work on something with somebody when they're the one that needs to do most of the work? Do not, under any circumstances, give up what your dream is. That is a huge message for all of you. Do not give up on it because they're pressuring you to stop. Please. That would totally negate what you're supposed to do in your path. And it's not fair. And they've gotten their journey and they've been able to have their shot in the sun or whatever. It's time for you to be able to do the same. And you supported them. They can support you. So that's a big message coming through. Okay, so for those that it seems like it's going to improve, what sort of advice do you have for them? Yeah, don't let the anxiety get to you. And that goes for everybody, even if you have to move forward in a harder way. And yeah, you deserve somebody that's more like a King of Wands energy. King of Wands is like an older energy, more mature. They are passionate and hot-tempered, and they do, have that quality to them, but they're steady in that upright position. They are strong. They might have been hot-headed when they were younger, but they've gotten that under control. That's what you deserve in your life, is that kind of temperament. Somebody who gets excited with you when you make accomplishments and still holds their own accomplishments just fine. Okay, so that's what we should be looking for. Your guides are saying, as far as like what behavior you want to see from them, or what behavior you want to see from somebody new if you decide to move forward from this connection because they're being so difficult with these people over here. Okay, oof. And that's only if you're seeing major resentment. If you're seeing them moving forward and then you kind of have setbacks or whatever, that doesn't mean that you're in this group over here. I'm saying like major, the Devil, the Two of Wands, the Eight of Wands, they aren't moving. Five of Cups, they aren't moving. Okay, that would be like every time you try to discuss it, they have some sort of an excuse to not even see your side, and they won't see through at all. They won't come to any degree. Okay, the rest of it's going to have to be done by degrees. Even if your person could improve, if their improving by degrees is too long for you, figure out your level of tolerance of how long waiting is appropriate for you and communicate that to them. I'm sorry if I'm gulping too loud, but I don't know how else to do it. Okay. So now I'm going to channel just names, anything about you guys. Some of you might live near pine trees. Notice how there's not like a lot of, it's kind of flat. There's not a lot of mountains in the background. Some people might live in an area where there's not a lot of mountains. So you might have like a lot of greenery that's big and leafy like that. Some of you might be self-employed, or your person might be self-employed. Some of you might have a goldfish. Some of you might have red hair. Ooh, some of you might have something with this floral pattern on it, a dress or something. You've seen this pattern before, somebody has. Excuse me. Some of you follow a lot. Oh gosh, give me a second. I'm so sorry, group 4. You're going to get the raspiest version of me at the end of the day. Some of you watch videos or YouTube. This is very specific. Some of you watch videos on YouTube either about like astronauts going to space or about conspiracy theories saying they've never gone there. I think some of you watch both and like compare the two with each other. You might have your opinion of one or the other, but you watch both. Like you're aware of that like debate, I guess you could say. That's very specific and funny. I'm aware of that debate. I do a lot of conspiracy theory watching, so like that debate does come up in the conspiracy theories of like the astronauts going to space and like what they actually do up there. Do they actually go up there? Is what they're showing us actually what they see up there? And like there's some people who are like, of course it is, and there's other people that are like, it's nothing like what they're saying it is. So anywho, if you know, you know. I think those are fun. I think it's fun to explore other people's how they view the world. Lots of ocean energy. Lots of ocean energy. Somebody lives near the ocean. I've gotten that in almost all the piles. Somebody has sisters up to 3, or you have like 2 and you're the 3rd one. Some of you... This card reminds me of like a woman, like an indigenous woman who is put in the clothes of like a new society, but she's actually like integrated and tried to like make her way through. So I'm not saying that that particularly speaks to me for anybody, but somebody here might be somebody that's really well traveled to the point where you've actually integrated into a whole other culture. Like you might, where the clothes speak the language, you know, all the customs like inside and out kind of deal. Some people like steampunk. Bird watchers. I got a bird watcher in one of the other piles. Somebody might have watched a bunch of piles today. By the time you get to group 4, that's usually pretty apparent who's doing that. Okay. That movie Little Shop of Horrors just came to my mind where the little plant eats people. Seymour, feed me. Okay. Let's go ahead and start generating some names. Not a lot of names came out with the cards. And not a lot of places came out either. Or occupations for that matter. So let me just listen real close and see if anything stands out to me. Rustin Robert. Okay, somebody might paint. Somebody might work with mechanics. Somebody, this could be you, your person, or anybody you know. Somebody I feel like, yeah, lives by pine trees, or you live somewhere where it's kind of misty like that, and you smell that really strong smell of trees and like bark and dew in the morning. Jealous of you, by the way. I never get that smell out where I live. And I hate it. I need to live somewhere where there's more pine trees, I think. Let's see. Like, I don't hate everything about the place I live, but I hate that part of it. Some of you might hate living places like that. You might hate the desert, or you might hate the city. Something about French, and that could be anything from like you speak French to you work in a French restaurant to, I mean, anything to do with anything French. So like you like French fries. If that stood out to you, it's for you. Okay. Hearing the word pumpkin. Hearing the name Priscilla. Pastries. Somebody might work with pastries, make pastries, sell pastries. Somebody might work in or around someplace like pasteurization. So some country energy for sure. Hospitality. Some people are in hospitality. All right, that's all I'm getting for now. Let's get you some tiles. So this is the only time I'm going to explain it like this because I like to give credit for people when they give me ideas. So lots of other readers use Scrabble tiles. But I watch one reader called Mystic Rose Tarot, and she does Scrabble tiles at the end. She's really good at channeling. She gets a lot of stuff, and she's always accurate for me anyway. So, anywho, I have adopted her model for how I'm going to do these. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. And the way that she does it is initials count. If the whole name is spelled out, obviously that counts. If she says the name out loud or you read it, either of those count. It could be also pet names, names of people you know, just to help give you double confirmation that you're in the right place. Even if it, we'll leave that one in there for a wild one. So if there's something that you're not seeing there, you need that to complete it, it's there for you. If you have like every word or every letter but one, it still counts. And we can do names, places, anything that stands out to you. So with that being said, check out her channel. I'm going to put a link for her in the description box. If you love like romance readings, she's really, that's like her main deal. I think she has another channel where she might do other things, but I haven't watched it yet. But I like watching her because she's just that good at channeling. It's crazy. Okay, like just 2 more. No, wait, 3 more. Sorry, I keep getting duplicates. There we go. Okay, 1 more. All right. Hear the name Rex or Ox. Could be nicknames or names of pets. Some of you might have liked Game of Thrones, the book series, which is called Song of Ice and Fire, or the show, which was called Game of Thrones. Somebody might knit with yarn. Hear the name Doug. What's Dugot? Dugot? D-U-G-O-T? Dugot? I don't know. It's coming through. Let me know if that resonated for you. What's MLP? MLP stands for something. I'm not sure what it is. It might just be somebody's full initials that's just sticking out for me and you guys want me to say it. But MLP sounds like maybe something that I should know and I forgot what it is. But don't quote me on that. It's been the end of a very busy day. I did a lot of readings today, both on here and privately, back and forth all day long. Woo! And I got my hair did. Some of you might have just gotten your hair done or got your hair colored, because I just got my hair colored, and that anytime we have connections together, it's usually a thing because I'm an empath. Martin. Dougie? I'm hearing hemp. Somebody might work with hemp or like hemp in their products. Erica. Iriki? Or like it's in my head, it's like I-R-E-K-E. Iriki? I'm not sure how to say it. Somebody might work in this industry as I'm tapping these letters in some way. And I'm not saying it has to be like in the illegal sense. It could be like in a legit sense, or either way, no judgments here. Somebody might work studying like human uality. I hope I'm being clear there. Let me know in the comments if you're ever like, what were you saying in that one spot in, give me a timestamp and I'll go and look and I'll clarify. I'll always do that if I see it. So, and I have a small enough channel. I answer all the comments so far. Let's see, unless they're just like so nasty that I'm like, I don't need to speak to you. But that's only happened, I think, like once. Yoda. Somebody might like watch like Yoda or be a fan of Star Wars, where you have an animal or a pet named Yoda, or you collect little Yoda figurines, anything to do with that. Eric. Tony. There's also a name that ends with tone or ton, like Dalton, for example, but there's more than one. So and I'm not seeing all the beginnings of them. So I've seen Paul. Somebody might be pregnant or could be close to getting there. So if that's good news, yay. If it's bad news, I'm sorry if it already happened. And, you know, call me up for a private reading. I'll advise you. Like, you think I'd really take advice from you, Miriam? I wouldn't. Not on parenting. Well, maybe I would actually. I actually would, even though I don't have kids. But that's just me. But I know what's in my brain. You don't. What? I know I've heard it before, and I know it's controversial, but I don't know much about it. It's something called QAnon that's popping up in my head. Maybe you know who they are and you've recently like heard about them, or maybe you support them, or maybe you don't support them and that's why I don't know. Maybe that's why your guides used it, was just so you would recognize that you're aware of who that is and you're in the right group. I'm not sure. I don't know much about QAnon. I hear that they're like kind of conspiracy theorists, maybe, but they're kind of like political on one side more than the other, and so they, upset people on the other side, maybe something like that. Okay, what else? Somebody works at a daycare and somebody maybe works at a day camp, or something to do with daycare and day camp is something. Maybe you have to use daycare and day camp, or you send your kids to day camp. I don't know. Somebody could be a lieutenant of some kind. Gary, Quinn. I'm hearing Gestapo, and I'm not sure why. Maybe you're studying it, or interesting. I don't know why that popped in there, but it did. And cuss words pop into my head too, so I always like wonder, like, what was that? Like, was that for somebody, or my head just doing random things to mess me up? Yasmin, Yaz or Yasmin, Yasmin. Did I say Parker already? I know I said it in another pile, so I'm not sure. Somebody might really like yogurt. Rando. Very rando. Somebody might like things that have to do with aliens. Like we were talking about conspiracy theories. Some of you might like to watch things about aliens too. That might be a topic that you're into. If you're into space in some way, that might be something. Somebody also follows like I feel like if you follow this, you might follow like other things, but like somebody follows like Elon Musk a lot, whether you love him or hate him. I think it could go either way, but you're aware of what he's up to all the time. Okay. I almost just confessed something. Well, I might as well. I didn't know who that guy was until this last election thing happened. Like I'd heard the name, but I didn't know him from a tree trunk, y'all. It shows you how up on current events I am. Like I'm up on some, but not really. Like I don't know. I think I'm more up on him now than I have been like my whole life, because things have gotten so strange that I keep doom scrolling. But like I don't know what all's real, and so I just keep like I don't know what all I'm seeing is actually like real. Like so, or isn't like so like skewed one side to the other that I don't know. And so I doom scroll a lot, and I'm like I just get more confused about what's going on. So anyway, sorry. That came out for a reason. Some of you might not be involved in that stuff at all, and us just talking about it for as long as we did was like, shut up. So that's confirmation you're also in the right spot. Some of you might be named Aiden, or know somebody named Aiden, or your person's name is Aiden. Hearing Roger. I'm also hearing Goat. Could be like greatest of all time. Maybe the greatest of all time at something. Maybe some people say that that person was the GOAT, right? Kemp. Last name Kemp. Kirky could be like Kirky. RKE. Could be somebody's last name. Sonics. SONEXAX. Sonics. Isn't there a little Sonic the Hedgehog? I don't know. I'm so tired. Okay. Somebody has like a dash cam that you use a lot, or you watch a lot of dash cam footage. Dave. I think I said Dawson earlier. Henry. Hostess. Dang it, I just advertised for Hostess, but somebody might eat Hostess snacks. I used to when they tasted good, but man, that stuff has degraded in quality so much. So see, now I'm not advertising for I gotta recover when I do that by accident. So if you hear me being like, Hostess is the best, they got me. They paid me money to say that. Okay. Oh, I think I might be done. I don't think I'm seeing anything else. You might have seen some things. Tell me if you saw other names that I didn't say. Let me know how this resonated for you or how it helped. If this was helpful, tell me how. If they're... Oh my gosh, I can't even remember how to say the ending, you guys. I'm so tired. Give me topic ideas in the description or in the comments as well. And if you want a private reading, there's ways to do so in the description box. Woof! I promise if this is your first time, I usually say that way smoother at the end. But here we are. It's, 1:15 in the morning and we are finally going to wrap her up. So thank you for being here, you guys. I appreciate you. And we will see you next time. Bye.